This video is made for entertainment purposes only. All claims are alleged. The contents of facts and all data shown in this video have been taken from various social platforms. Any resemblance to any person, entity, in any form is purely coincidental. My intention is not to hurt the sentiments of any person, personality, or any community in any form. Hello everyone, welcome back to Empress Lioness, and we are back with another reality TV show review. Today we are doing the review for Belle Collective Season 3, Episode 1. Let's get into it. I was very satisfied with this season premiere of Belle Collective. They did good, but we're going to get right into it. So first we have Latrice and Cliff, and they are in their home. Cliff, one of his children came back. His child and his grandchildren, they're living with them for the time being. He's enjoying his grandkids being in the house. Latrice says she doesn't like kids, and she's still afraid of being pregnant, losing her shape, and being a mother, but she is enjoying the grandkids. Jackson is having a water crisis, so her employee and her store manager and her friend Josh is staying with her for the time being. Josh says Cliff is an old grumpy man and he gets turned on by being able to get under his skin. Cliff says Josh causes problems in their marriage, and Josh says they were already there, he just stirs it up. Now, that is an issue. Now, a lot of things that Josh was saying to Cliff and about Cliff, everyone can agree with it, but we can agree with Cliff too, like, you are still in my house. You are being disrespectful. You're stepping over your boundaries, and he is, like, he's very vocal and very opinionated, and a person like that, a friend, family member like that, is not good for a person's relationship or marriage. That's the one you keep out your business. The person like Josh, those are the ones you don't want to vent to. Those are the ones you want to keep out your business when it comes to your relationship and your marriage. Because those are the ones, they're going to take everything that you say about your spouse to heart, and they're not going to forgive your spouse when you do. And they're going to do what he's been doing, speaking up and being very vocal and opinionated about it. But yes, Latrice definitely needs to nip that in the bud, set some boundaries, and stand on them, because they already got issues, and Josh ain't helping them. He gonna make them worse. And like he said, he's been stirring the pot, so he's intentionally doing it, which is not good. Because if that's your friend, I know he's coming from a good place because he loves Latrice, but you stirring up the pot of some stuff that's already in the pot is not good. That's not gonna make it better for her, because she ain't going nowhere no time soon. So you ain't doing nothing but causing issues, more issues than they already got. Latrice says she's a strong Southern woman, but she still lets her husband still be a husband. Cliff said, no matter what. Which I don't like that mindset. I'm from the South. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, to be exact. And yes, a lot of Southern women, or women period, but especially Southern women, have this mindset that no matter what, they still let their husband be a husband. I don't agree with that. I don't like that, because just because he's the man and he's the husband, don't mean everything he say is right. His way or no way, my way, the highway, his word is bond. No. Because at the same time, you are a woman, you have your own mind, you are independent, you're successful, you're your own person. You should have a say so. So I don't agree with that. I don't agree. I agree with a husband being a husband, but to a certain extent. Like, you're not gonna put on me, oh, you a husband and it's just your way, the highway, and that's it. No. Cliff wants Josh out. He's disrespecting him in his own house. That's how Cliff feels. And he is. Josh is. He's being very disrespectful. Period. Point blank. You can't do you doing this and saying all that. You can feel how you feel about him, but that's still his house, and that's still being disrespectful. It is. Like, I don't want to come home to my own house and I gotta hear somebody that's not my family, none of that, and I gotta deal with this shit coming in my own house. No, I ain't with that. So I understand Cliff on that point. Josh says, Cliff tells Latrice, that's your worker. Josh says, I'm her friend / worker. Cliff says, friends don't get paychecks, you a worker. So Josh was not playing with him. Cliff is not playing with him. Cliff is tired of his ass. Cliff is tired of Josh's ass. Latrice says it's a problem with Josh being so vocal and opinionated about everything. And she was like, "You're still a guest." So Latrice, that's where you need to step in and let Josh know, "Hey, I understand you feel away and whatever, and you my friend, and you don't like certain things, but it's still my house is still my husband, and I'm gonna need you to pipe down because you are still a guest, and that's not okay." Latrice is in a separate bedroom, and she said it's because of communication, and it's not effective in her marriage, and her marriage is not in the best place. Baby, your marriage hasn't been in the best place since you got on this show. Then you let someone like Josh come into your house. Yeah, that's not gonna help at all. But Josh says she feels like Cliff controls her and has a leash around her neck. And once we get in more into this episode, I definitely agree with him. But Latrice, of course, she says, "Oh, that's," she denies it and says, "No, that's not controlling. He's just being overprotective." I feel like she said that that's what all people like in abusive or controlling relationships, they always deflect and defend and say that's not what everybody is seeing, but that's exactly what it is. He is definitely controlling. It's not being overprotected, he's controlling. She says she puts her friends and her family and her husband before herself, and she's feeling depleted and her happy, and she's not happy. And I say, Latrice, you got to stop doing that. That's not good. That's not normal. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you're not your best self, you can't be the best for everyone else. You have to. There has to be a point where you say, this is for me. You got to take care of yourself. You cannot be unhappy. Like, it's okay to choose you. It's okay to cater to you. It's okay to love on yourself. It's okay for you to be happy. It's okay. Don't let anyone and anything make you feel like you got to prioritize everybody and everything before yourself. And as long as they're good, you good. Because it's not. Everybody else be good and you ain't good. Then you left to pick up the pieces by yourself. No, you got to put your happiness too. You got to put your happiness and prioritize your happiness as well. So I really hope she gets through that, because she says she's not happy now. That unhappiness can turn into depression if she's not already depressed. Because a lot of people who are depressed, you wouldn't even know they're depressed. So I really hope she's not depressed, but that unhappiness can turn into depression if she keeps operating how she's operating. And I hope she really does figure that out. So next we go to Letitia. She says business is going great, but personal is not. We know she moved back in with Glenn, and after a while, he went back to doing the same shit he was doing, responding to people on social media, and who knows what else he doing. Um, I feel like, baby, he was gonna do that anyway. That's what niggas do, especially some man you've been with for a long time, and he been doing shit like this. He been cheating. He been entertaining. He been texting. He been in the streets. And you've been dealing with it. He know what to say and what to do to get you back and act right for a couple days or a couple weeks, a month, maybe 3, if that, and then go right back to the bullshit, because he knows how to manipulate you. He knows how to talk to you. He knows what to say and what to do to get you running back, to get you to give him another chance, to get you to be emotionally invested again. Yeah, he know. Okay, yeah, she gone for a couple days. Okay, she doing her little tantrum, but she ain't going nowhere for real. That's a man's logic. That's a man's logic. That's how they think. Especially you've been with him for so long and you've been dealing with it for this long. Y'all been together, what, 20, 23 years? And you ain't going nowhere yet. That's just what he's thinking. Yeah, she ain't going nowhere for real. I know what to say. I know what to do. Get her back in. Let her give me another chance. I'm going to do right for this little time period and go right back to the same bullshit, because he know you're not going nowhere for real. When you go somewhere for real, you got to go somewhere for real. And stand on it. But we clearly see Letitia ain't standing on that shit. But Letitia meets Glenn at the jump park so they can exchange their son, and they start to talk. Glenn says the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror because we should focus on what's ahead, not what's behind. And that's just another manipulation tactic. And this is what men do too. They always want to tell somebody to let's focus on the future, forget the past. When they been doing shit, they love to say that. Oh, baby, let's focus on the future. Forget the past. That was the past. Get over it. They want you to get over it as soon, like 2 days later when they do some shit. especially some shit that they continue to do. It's not like they did some shit one time and they never did it again, and they corrected their behavior. They keep doing it. They keep getting caught. When they get caught, they be sorry for a couple of days, and then they tell you just get over it. That's the past. Let's focus on the future. Bullshit. Bullshit. But Glenn said, should he delete his social media? I feel like he'll delete his social media, the ones that Letitia know about, and then make another one, a whole another one that she don't even know about. Or that's what I feel like he'll do. Letitia said, I can't teach you how to be a husband, and you can't. He ain't been a husband these whole how many years y'all been together? And he's how old? I don't think it's gonna click, especially when you not standing on boundaries. You're not really holding him accountable when you doing what you're doing, when you not standing on the things that you say. Glenn said it's been 23 years. You can't take this away. Most of the relationship been great, and that's another thing people like to do. They like to bring up the history and all of that. That don't matter when you keep disrespecting me, when you keep lying, when you keep cheating, when you keep deceiving, when you keep embarrassing me, when you keep stabbing me in the back, when you keep being unloyal and unfaithful. That history don't fucking matter. It don't matter at all. Like, you didn't think about that history when you was doing what you was doing. He says, I'm an 80-20 guy, and if you can deal with the 20, you're gonna love the 80. And I feel like that's just him telling her, hey, this 20, you're gonna deal with this 20, which is him lying and cheating and entertaining. Then that's just what it is. It ain't gonna change. That's what I feel like he was saying when he said that bullshit 80-20 guy. Letitia says she just tired of him making her look stupid. Glenn says you keep jumping in and out. Are you really tired of him making him? Are you really tired of him making you look stupid? Are you really? Because if you really was, you wouldn't be going back and forth. If you really was, you wouldn't be sleeping with him. If you really was, you wouldn't keep giving him chance after chance. If you was really tired, trust me. When a woman's tired for real, she tired. It ain't no one foot in, one foot out. It ain't no I'm still be sleeping with him. It ain't none of that. I don't give a damn if y'all still married or not. It ain't none of that when you really tired. She ain't tired for real, for real. Glenn says you keep jumping in and out. Letitia regrets sleeping. Then she says she regrets sleeping with him. Do you really? Because I feel like you're gonna do this shit again. But we gonna see. Glenn says she made him use a condom, and it made him feel like a trick, a sneaky link. He should have left $40 on the dresser. And that right there, I would have felt disrespected, and I would have cussed his ass out and slapped the fuck out of him. Like, boy, don't fucking try me. Don't fucking try me. And don't be trying, because I feel like you trying me like I'm a prostitute or something, and I'm the fucking hoe. Bitch, you're the fucking hoe. The fuck? You're the fucking hoe. And stop acting like you don't know why I'm making you wear a fucking condom. You act like, nigga, last year, the reunion last year, nigga, you just had to get a fucking DNA test for a baby that could have been yours, possibly. It's not like you didn't deny the shit. You admitted to fucking with this girl. And you knew that was a possibility that you could be the father. So clearly you fucking bitches raw. Clearly. So that means you fucking other people raw. So you could possibly bring your STD. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely make you wear a fucking condom. At least that's the least I can do. Since I'm not standing on my shit and not sleeping with your ass. Period. At least she can make him use a condom. But baby, even still, people need to know you can still get STDs when you do wear a condom, because you can get STDs from skin to skin contact. You can get STDs from oral. And we all know 99% of people, or shit, maybe 100, don't use condoms when it comes to oral. So, yeah. But Glenn, stop acting oblivious like you don't know why she making you use condom, and he trying to act like he ain't out in these streets talking about some he ain't touching nobody. She making him feel like he community D on a thought. You are. So it is what it is. Letitia lets Glenn know she's getting her own place. He says that's crazy and that's not structure for their son. Letitia says she doesn't want to feel indebted to him. And he say, well, that's crazy because you're my wife. I'm indebted to you just like you indebted to me. He said somewhere along the line you've forgotten the commitments and sacrifices. And Letitia, just like me, was like, she forgot. Nigga, you forgot. When you were unfaithful and disloyal and lying and cheating, that's a commitment to be faithful and loyal. You forgot the commitment. You did. And he's mad. He's gonna say, "Oh, that's crazy. You taking structure from their son. You wasn't worried about that structure when you was out doing what you was doing. When you were risking your family and the family dynamic and structure. When you were out doing what you're doing. People always like to do that shit when they get caught up. But when they in that doing the shit, they don't think about none of that shit. But then want to project that shit on the other people when they get caught. No, Letitia doesn't feel like they will be back together until Glenn figures out what's going on with him on the inside. And I feel like he ain't gonna worry about that shit. He worry about getting you back again so he can do the same shit. He ain't about to do that work for real. Cause he supposedly did the work last season, therapy and all, and when he came back, did the same shit. And he ain't about to change. He ain't gonna change. He not, and not with you keep going back and forth and not standing on your shit for real. Now, hopefully, you get in this place, and this will really help you to get back on your shit. Well, stand on your shit for real this time. When you actually, okay, I'm living by myself, it's something new, you can focus on yourself, then maybe. But we gonna see. So we go to So Gucci and JJ. JJ is preparing a romantic dinner and is excited about being an empty nester. So Gucci walks in the house. She likes it. She decided she changed and they start eating. She says she's been busy with spending quality time with the grandkids and her business and everything like that. And JJ says she has to share and she wants to show her how it is when it's no children in the house. Now let's pay attention to how he did it. So he's so excited about being an empty nester and not being in the house and the kids not being in the house anymore and they free and they can walk around naked and all that. And then he hit her with this. He lets her know that his mama moving in. So he did all that just because he wasn't being romantic. He did all of that to let her know that his mama moving in. So that ain't no empty nest, sir. That's not an empty nest. No more. Like, how you so excited when you about being an empty nester when you ain't gonna be an empty nester no more? And I bet you your mama move in. She ain't moving out no time soon. But so Gucci did not like that, and she like, I'm about to get the hell out of here. If she move in, I'm getting the hell out of here. And you didn't even ask me. He says, well, I'm the man in the house, and he feels what he says go. And I'm so tired of this mindset with these niggas, especially in the South. Like, these niggas gotta get it together. These old, they still got this old ass mindset. Like, they the man, and that is what it is, and they run shit, and that's it. And they don't need no say so from their wife or nothing. It's just they way the highway, their word, and that's it. I don't like that. And I would have been like, no, it ain't going down like that. I would have really moved. I would have moved. I ain't gonna lie. I probably would have moved. And be like, oh, you know what? Since you wanna stay all okay, I'm gonna get my own fucking house and leave your ass over here. Your mom can stay with you, and I'm be at my other house. Probably not. But Tamara and Demond, so they've been living together for a few months, and she's not used to it. Tamara tells Demond she feels like she needs her own space, just like a man cave, and she should get something like a condo. Now, Tamara, a man cave is not a condo. Those are two different things. A man cave is still in the house. A condo is a completely different place. You're gonna be completely moving out. But I feel like Tamara, she's tired, and now she's finally, because she's never lived with anybody. And even still, even when Tamara and Amanda, they've been messing with each other or on and off for years. But she's never lived with him. Now she finally lived with him. Now she don't like it. And she just over it now. I think she's gotten turned off. On top of him not even marrying her still. But the mom says they haven't had sex in 2 months. And that's why I think she's turned off. And she just tired of the nigga. She just probably tired of this nigga finally. After all these years. Because you still ain't married the girl. That's what she said she wanted. You still ain't married her. And he was like, well, we ain't had sex in 2 months. Is something wrong with him? Uh, um, when it comes to her, I feel like, yeah, it is something wrong with you. You ain't marrying me yet. And I said that's what I wanted. Um, Terrence said she thought the man that she would be living with would be the man she's married to. And I was like, well, you kept saying that shit, but you still let this nigga pressure you and manipulate you into moving in with him. When he bribed you, like you said, he bribed you with marriage. He still ain't married you. So you chose to live with the man. You should have stood on your shit and stood on your boundaries and non-negotiables and told that nigga, I'm not moving in with you until we get married, and that's that. But you didn't stand on that shit. So here we are. Demond expects her to cook him breakfast, and he feels she should be able to because her work, all she does is sit in the chair all day, and that was disrespectful. And I don't like. I hate when people do that to people who don't do much physical labor as their job or career. I hate when people try to dismiss or diminish what a person does for work and for a career and as a career just because they don't do physical labor or and they sit and they work on a computer or whatever. That's still work. Like don't do that. I do not like when people do that. Um, he says, if we're married, what are you gonna do? Run off? And I feel like that's just another excuse for him to as a reason for him not to get married. It's like those people who just always trying to find a negative and always thinking about what's gonna go wrong to not do something. And I feel like that's what he's doing. But I don't think he ain't gonna marry her. But at the same time, I feel like he got her and bribed her into moving in because he wanted to see, okay, how she's going to be as a wife. Like, okay, we live together, and he wanted to see and test her to be like, okay, what are you going to do and how are you going to do be as a wife. And I feel like he really just used that to like uh really because he wanted an in-house girlfriend to do wifely duties. That's really what I feel like he wanted her to move in for, to have that in-house person to do the wifey things and not get a ring, because that's what happened all the time. Niggas do that shit all the time. They have a girlfriend for years and they do wifey things and don't get married, and they feel like, well, I'm getting all this already, why the fuck should I marry you? We already act like a married couple, just not with the ring or the license. Tamara feels like the mom bribed her with the marriage just to get her to move in, and I feel like, yeah, that's exactly what he did. So next we go to Keisha. She is in still in Jackson while her husband is in New York. She has one kid, he has one, and she doesn't know what she was thinking doing this without Willie, but she has to do what women do always do, make it do what it do. And baby, I like that saying, because yes, women do that all the time, make it do what it do. It ain't hard, it ain't the end of the world. You ain't the first person gonna do it, you ain't gonna be the last. So Gucci arrives and they talk about Tamara. Akisa says she didn't know she was a liar and she shouldn't have a problem with her because Letitia is the one who stirred up the pot. And I agree. And Tamara, you were just getting caught up in a lot of shit last year, and you was doing the fucking most because you and your nigga was getting caught up. But next we go to Letitia, and she meets So Gucci and Marie at a condo that Letitia is hoping to move into. So Gucci says she's happy Letitia asked her to find her a property because Latrice asked her to find her a property, but ended up closing with somebody else. And she feels like that was snake of her. That was cool. Letitia, no, Marie says, I told y'all Latrice was a snake. Letitia says she sat on the D at the reunion. She wanted it, she got it, made it happen, made him strap up, but she was satisfied. She said, y'all not gonna make me feel bad for sleeping with my husband. It ain't about making you feel bad. It's just about we see you. We see you saying one thing, but you're doing another. You saying you done, you gonna move on. You acting like you being this strong person, whatever. You gonna be your husband, whatever. But your actions saying otherwise. And they was like, girl, you gonna keep doing it. You gonna keep letting him do that, and you ain't gonna move on for real. And I feel like when she move in that condo, she gonna watch that nigga move in after in a couple days or a couple weeks. He gonna move right in over there, or he gonna be spending the night every night giving her the D. So then we go to Latrice. She arrives at her store. She says so Gucci didn't have the building ready that like she thought, and only showed her one building. So Latrice is letting us know like why she went and closed with someone else, another realtor, instead of Gucci. So Gucci. Um, she said she is her friend, but business is busy and it must go on. She doesn't have time to sit around and wait. Now I understand that, but at the same time, if you didn't call her and let her know, like you could have at least called her and let her know, like, and that would have been professional, like, hey, and as a friend, if you say that's your friend, you could have let her know, like, hey, you only showed me one property, I didn't really like it wasn't up to my standards or what I was looking for, um, and I feel like I should just go ahead and move forward with somebody else. She could have did that, but she didn't. So I understand both sides. Um, Latrice lets us know she did close on a 4,000 square foot property, and she's gonna have the retail downstairs and the salon suites upstairs, and that is really great, and that's happy for her and growing her business. But Josh says, will he have a salon suite upstairs? Latrice says he's gonna be downstairs, and she was like, he needs to figure out. You need to figure out what you want to do, if you want to be a MUA, a makeup artist, or you're going to continue to be the store manager. And I feel like I agree with that. You need to figure out, because you can't be two places at once. A store manager, you got to run the store, you got to manage the store. And if you decide to be a makeup artist and be upstairs, I need to know so I can know how to move. I need to hire someone else, and you could be upstairs. But you going back and forth, you're not going to be able to do these things. You're going to be growing your clientele. It's not going to work like that. But Josh says he doesn't have any help, and Latrice's attitude is messed up. Latrice says, well, I expect you to do the job that I hired you for, and I expect the best. And at the same time, he says that, well, I text you sometimes and you don't even respond. And I feel like yeah, she should respond, especially when it's for business. But I feel like Josh, because he's a person that oversteps his boundaries, and they are friends, and it's not just business, that he probably don't be texting her just for business. He probably be texting for about some other shit. But then Latrice goes into how he has no respect for her marriage or her house. And I feel like this is where she is, setting the tone and setting boundaries with him when it comes to him being disrespectful and overstepping his boundaries and being too vocal and opinionated about how he feel about her husband. Because at the end of the day, she's not going nowhere. No time soon. She's not. And she's telling you that. So I feel like you need to respect that. And if she's telling you and he's telling you being disrespectful, you need to abide by it, because you are in their house and for free. They're doing you a favor. So I understand he's coming from a place of friendship, because he doesn't like what he's seeing and how his friend is being treated, but he still should understand that. Josh says he respects Latrice, but not Cliff, because he's an asshole, and he's gonna give him a dose of his own medicine every time. And he says some random shit like he's not even attractive, and he was like, I don't know if it's because of his fair skin or his pretty green eyes. And I'm like, why did you say that? That was out of nowhere. You really didn't have no point in saying it. So I'm looking at him, because you already said some slick shit, some weird shit, like in the beginning, like, oh, it turns you on when you get under his skin. Then you talking about his fair skin and pretty green eyes. Do you want to fuck Cliff, Josh? Because that was some random shit. Like, why are you even saying shit like that? Okay, like your wording, your word choice is kind of weird to me. But I'm gonna leave it there. Josh says Latrice is one way in front of her husband and another way with him. And I believe it, because everybody do that. You in a relationship, especially when you talk to your family, your friends, and you talk to them, especially about some shit that you going through with this person, your spouse. Yeah, you one way in front of your friend or family, and you another way in front of them. Like, that's not nothing new. And I feel like he shouldn't attack her for that or call her out on that, because I feel like she's just coming to him as a friend. Like, everybody needs somebody to vent to. But I feel like he is the wrong person to vent to. Clearly, he's the wrong person to vent to. He is the definition of keep people out your business. Because, like they say, when you tell your family and friends, they don't forgive the person that you with. But you do. But they going to keep whatever you said to them to heart, and they not gonna move on like you move on, and they gonna feel away forever. But yeah, he ain't the friend of into, but I feel like he shouldn't be calling her out and attacking her for that or judging her for that. Like, I feel like she would just come to him as a friend, like a lot of people do, but he ain't the right friend for that. But he I understand why he feels the way he feels. I'm not disagreeing with him, because like me, I feel a way, but I feel a way about, especially if I see it for myself, how this person is treating my friend. Yeah, I'm gonna feel away. But at the same time, they still grown, and I see, okay, they're not going nowhere no time soon. So I'm not gonna judge, and I'm gonna just be a friend and have open ears and open arms. Um, he doesn't know where he stands, and Latrice says, "You stand as a friend." Cliff calls him a freeloader, and Josh feels they want him out of the house because they don't want people to know what's going on behind the scenes of their marriage. And I feel like they don't. I feel like that's. I don't feel like that's what it is. I just feel like you just overstepping your boundaries, and they feel disrespected. Now, I do um think that, yeah, they don't want people to know what's really going on behind the scenes, but I don't think that's the main reason as to why they want you to leave or why they want you out. John says he doesn't think they should be married, and that he just wants her to be happy, but she's covering up a lot. And I agree with him, but I don't agree with him saying that he shouldn't think they should be married. Like he just keep overstepping. Like, that lady gonna stick beside him. She been saying that, she gonna keep saying that, she gonna stick beside him. So it really ain't your place to tell her when they gonna that she shouldn't be married to him. But Josh says he doesn't think they should be married. Ortiz then goes out to the bar for a last minute drink with her friend. Cliff arrives upset. He is mad, baby. So Cliff says, when she goes to the bar, you need to tell me when you go to the bar. You don't got no last minute when you dealing with me. I can correct all this right now. You don't deal with me. What the fuck? You don't tell me what the fuck I'ma do. We finna talk and talk. Unplug this mic. Take your mic off. You ain't finna come here without my fucking permission. This right here, this scene was a telltale sign of how verbally abusive Cliff is. He's definitely verbally abusive, and he's definitely controlling. This scene really, like, had me looking like, what the fuck? Like, oh hell no. Like, what the fuck you mean you ain't going nowhere without my fucking permission? Like, he really talking to her like a child, like that's his daughter. And she said it herself, like, yeah, he treat me like his daughter sometimes. And I don't like that. But at the same time, I feel like you attracted this man, you ended up with this man because you know that you have issues when it comes to your father, and you were looking for a father in him. And that's what he's acting like. And that shit is not the move. Cause I would have, cause his ass, I like, who the fuck is you talking to? I can go any fucking where. I am grown. I have my own mind. I like, what you mean without your fucking permission? No, absolutely not. Latrice says it was a scene for her and her friends, and Cliff says, so y'all can talk about me. So he worried about people talking about him. And if they was, so the fuck what? So what? But Latrice says she loves her husband and wouldn't want to be with anyone else, but he can be controlling. So now she finally admits that yes, he is controlling. Because at first she denied it, and she was like trying to say it was him just being overprotective, but no, it's definitely him being controlling. Cliff asks if she still has her mic on. He takes her mic off and then throws it and grabs her, and she had to yank herself from him and tell her not to grab him like that. Like, yeah, you doing too much, sir. Like, you're doing too much, sir. Latrice says she's a businesswoman and she has to keep up a certain image, and right now she doesn't feel loved and she feels mistreated by her husband. And I feel like she feels like that a lot of the time. That's why she's unhappy, because she always feels unloved and untreated by him, especially when he act like this. Yeah. Cliff says keep being low key or low down like a snake, like the snake that you are. Then he said something like bitch, and then something, and he was like, I'm gonna snap Josh. So I know y'all heard that or seen that he said bitch. So was he calling her a bitch or just saying it? But I feel like he called her. So you call her a bitch. So yeah, he's definitely verbally abusive, and I'm pretty sure he definitely be yanking her up all the fucking time, and that's a fucking problem. And Latrice, that shit is not okay. That shit is not normal. He's verbally abusive, and hopefully he's not physically abusive. I don't want to go there, but no, that shit ain't cool. That shit was not cool. No, I did not like that at all. He was like, you better check your friends if they say anything about me. Cliff says he's not in control of his wife, but he is in control of the marriage. He runs the household, and that's what a man is supposed to do. If they can't respect me, then you don't need to be with. They don't need to be with you. So here we go with this old school saying. These niggas thinking they run shit, and they word is bond, and it's they way or the fucking highway, and you have no fucking say. So I'm not with that shit at all. Ain't no. Just because you the man, you run the household. That shit is so old school and played out. Like women have their own mind. Women are their own selves. This is not in the old days where women didn't have no rights, couldn't get nothing, was denied jobs, denied property, all that shit. That shit is over with. Those days are long gone. I know they trying to bring that shit back with all the shit they've been doing, trying to take women's rights away, but that shit ain't gonna go how it's gonna go. No, women are not going to be put back in those days. That shit is over. So all these men who still got this fucking mindset that it's they're just because they're the man, it's their way and no way, and they control shit and that's it, and you have no say so just because you're a woman. No, fuck all that. I don't respect that shit. And we definitely seen a side of Cliff today in this episode, and I don't like it. But that was my review of Belle Collective. I like this. It was a good season premiere, and I'm looking forward to watching the rest of the season. But I'll catch y'all next time in my next video. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe.